What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, it's really early into the month. Well, not early, but it's next week of football. Uh, Technically, week 6 is over. Monday Night Football just happened. Cowboys beat the Chargers. And speaking of that, we want to get into these picks. We want to see what we got right, what we got wrong, what team surprised us during this week, what team has been a major letdown this week. There was a couple upsets, but we'll just get right. We'll get straight into it. Without no further ado, we're gonna see how many we got right, how many losses we got, and just go from there. Thursday night. Thursday night was the Chiefs and the Broncos. Chiefs won that game. We started off 1-0. Started off with a good record. London game, Ravens, Tennessee. We predicted that the Ravens were going to win that game. They ended up winning that game. So we started off 2-0. No Anthony Richardson. Jags, Colts. We got the Jags winning that game. The Jags won that game. So we're 3-0 to start. We're starting off great here. Great start. Great predictions. Kind of easy predictions. Not really nothing too special out of the box. Nothing really, it's just real common sense with what these picks were. Either, there's always a chance of upset, but obviously, clearly that didn't happen. And the more safer pick won the games. Raiders Patriots. This one was kind of a toss up in this game. Was kind of shaky. The Patriots definitely had chances to win this game, but they got in their own way. It's kind of been the whole story of this season for them. They can't get out of their own way. They have a talented roster. They got the pieces to be contenders or maybe a threat. But 1-5 now, 1-4 at the time, and it just goes to show why they only have one win. Raiders were able to squeak it out without Jimmy G. Jimmy G got hurt. Devontae took a huge shot in that game, but no Nate Hobbs, but Max Crosby, real deal. I'm not gonna say something to be biased and say something too crazy, but one of the best defensive players in the league, and he showed why on Sunday. He showed why the last 2 weeks and he won Defensive Player of the Week last week against Green Bay. But let's get off the Raiders. Enough of that. We're starting off 4-0. Dolphins and Panthers. Now, the Panthers I seen were up, I think, 21-0, I believe, around half. And they ended up just, I don't know what happened. I didn't see the game. I didn't really see any highlights. But they ended up losing that game. Dolphins go on to win that. 5-0 start. Really, really great start. Now, last time I checked, it was around the fourth quarter. The Bengals were winning that game. They were winning that game. So I'm not really sure if they actually won the game. But we're going to check just to confirm, because I don't want to have anybody be like, oh, man, he's just making this up. Like, nah, we can actually see the scores. Bengals beat the Seahawks. So that's making me 6-0 with the pick so far. Now, this is where we have a little bit of toss-up. This is where we have some trouble. 3 straight losses here for me. 3 straight wrong predictions. The 49ers, I thought they were going to be able to continue the role and continue their dominance and be undefeated. But they fall short to the Browns. Christian McCaffrey got hurt, and just a very sloppy, dirty game. It was just one of those games that both teams were struggling. PJ Walker, they didn't even have a starter in for the Browns. It's just one of those games that if it gets a little bit too ugly, things can change. They got into field goal range at the end of the game, but Jake Moody ended up missing the field goal, and the Browns ended up winning this game. So that was my first loss. 6-1. Saints, Texans. The Saints offense just looked ugly. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's because of the injury. I don't know if it's just because, but they had chances. Also their kicker, Groupie, I don't know if that's his name. He missed 3 kicks, so that's 9 points off the board right there. But they struggled to score in the red zone, couldn't really get it going anywhere. Um, they ended up losing this game to the Texans. C.J. Stroud played well. He threw his first pick this year, but he still did enough to win this game. And the defense really played well. The offensive line for the Saints struggled as well. I think he had like 10 QB hits that game and like 3 sacks. It was just ridiculous. It was crazy. Yeah, Texans ended up losing that. We go 6-2, 6-2 so far. Eagles, Jets. Now this is one that really took me by surprise. These two teams, I really expected them against a team that I didn't really know that Deshaun Watson was going to be hurt this game. I didn't really read the reports or anything, so I didn't even really factor that in, that he wouldn't play. But early that Sunday, I realized that he wasn't going to play. So I was like, oh, man, I'm really counting on them to win this game. I really think they can win this game. And this as well, they got to back up, starting level quarterback, Zach Wilson. He was taken in the first round a couple years ago. But, I thought the Eagles were good enough. I think they could be able to surpass this team. Jalen Hurts, shout out to the Jets defense. I think he threw 3 picks. Very uncharacteristic game from him. And just like this game, a gritty, dirty opponent that just gets down in the dirt. And, you don't want to get into a match like that with them where they get down and dirty and wrestle with you, because, there's a possibility that no matter how good you are, you can lose against those kind of teams, because they just are gritty. They just do what they can to win the game. They play hard-nosed type ball. Bills, Giants. Now, I'm not sure who actually won this game, so we're going to go to the card here. The Bills did end up winning this game. This was the Sunday night game. Bills end up winning that game, so we are now back up to 7-3. Monday night, this game just happened. I think in this video I said CeeDee Lamb was going to have a good game. Dak was going to have a good game. And they're going to come back with some vengeance. They're going to clean it up. Ugly game against the 49ers they played last week, and they did. They won 2017. CD had a good game, 7 for 17, 117 and a touchdown. Dak had over 225 yards with a touchdown and a rushing touchdown. So they played well. They got the win over the Chargers. That puts me to 8-3. Record is looking good. Now, I said the Bears, again, this is another team that I thought was going to bounce back from that ugly loss against the Bears on that Thursday night. They really played bad, which they did. They turned it around. They got the win over the Falcons, cleaned it up. I think Desmond Ridder threw 3 picks. The defense played well. Offense played well enough to win the game, and they ended up winning that game. So that puts me to 9-3. Lions, Bucks. I'm not sure who won this game. I know David Montgomery got hurt. Lions end up winning this game. And that puts me to 10-3. Now this is another game that I got wrong. Justin Fields got hurt, dislocated his thumb, left. But even when he was playing, it was a very ugly game by them. Couldn't really get anything going. They had three of their running backs. 3 of their rostered running backs were hurt this game. Roschon Johnson, Khalil Herbert, and Travis Homer were all out. So they were really banking on Dante Foreman and other guys for that run game. And they really couldn't get anything in the passing game going. Justin Fields didn't really get anything going. I don't know. They just I feel like they had a cap on him. They didn't really let him be him like they did the last 2 weeks. It was kind of like he was boxed in a little bit. He looked uncomfortable. The Vikings did a good job of containing his run and scramble, kept him in the pocket. He really didn't know what to do in the pocket. He wanted to run, but he couldn't run, and he just panicked, didn't know what to do with the ball, and that resulted in a loss. So that puts me at 10-4, and then the Rams and the Cardinals. Like I said, the Cardinals are gonna start to fall off a little bit. They took people by surprise. Factor out of the record, they took a lot of people by surprise with the way they were playing ball, and how Jonathan Gannon had those guys going. But they're gonna end up slowing down. The record's gonna really look like what they should be, and the ball that they play is not gonna be so good. Josh Dobbs is gonna cool down. The team's gonna cool down in general. And I had the Rams winning, and the Rams end up winning. I go 11-4. Great week for me. That's a great start to these videos. There's a couple picks that really took me by surprise. Mostly these ones, but these two for sure. This one I knew was kind of a toss-up. Texans are playing good ball. They're competing. C.J. Stroud is the real deal. D'Amico Ryan's got that team playing ball, and the defense looks good as well. A lot of talent all over the field for this team. Sky's the limit. I really think they're a couple pieces away, like a couple real solid pieces away from being a very good team and maybe even taking that division. Being the best team in the division. I know the Ravens are in their division. I know the Jags are in that division, but the way they play, the way they look, they could be right up there with those two teams there. Are the Ravens in it? The Ravens aren't in the division. My bad. Excuse me. I don't know what I'm talking about. The Jags are in the division for sure, but not the Ravens. Excuse me. But, they're in contention for that division, man. To be something to reckon with. It's kind of like a one-man race. The Jags are really the only good team in that division. They have the Colts and Tennessee Texans for a couple years. The Jags were kind of like the only competing type team, last year I should say. All the other teams are kind of rebuilding and trying to work back to that status. But 11-4, very good week for me, very good. I don't think it's really anything crazy. I said the Bengals are going to get going. I said that this might be a trap game, which it almost was. 21-0, bad start for the Dolphins, but they ended up getting going. I said they were going to get it going at home. Chiefs are going to take care of business against the Broncos. Ravens going to take care of business. The very close game. It could have went either way. The Raiders end up pulling this one out. The Jags are going to take care of business without Anthony Richardson in. Bills, Cowboys come back with a vengeance. They're going to bounce back. Commanders are going to bounce back from the last week. Lions continue their dominance. The Rams just continue, being an underrated team and an under-the-radar type team. But that's going to do it for this video. This is a little recap of Week 6 and the predictions and how we did, how much success we had with the picks. And I think we did outstanding. I think this might be one of the best weeks, maybe in this series or however long I do this. Like, it's not luck, but some luck has to tie into it because 11-4 is pretty dang good. I only got 4 wrong out of 15. I got 4 wrong out of 15, which is crazy. I said in this video that I was shooting for 8 and 7, and sky's the limit. I went over that. So awesome to do that. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.